slowly falling down cooler闇へ but never going back touch 向かえどうして高く上げてなお大ボーナなんてもうグッバイしょこりもなくファイナカマと Need another day I will run away from nothing no more どこまでも抗ってこう今超えてく Also ready to break it up I'm not afraid yeah break it Give me the point oh in the dark 自分の力に変え wipe out 今ねじ曲げる視線 I never fall in I never ever care for them 今立ち向かう and I defeat myself I got ghosts, keep myself safe from back foot I got ghosts, keep myself see a suspect Time away from me, stop my shadow Smoke, let us set my tongue on a surface I could Nobody knows, cause I can't flow Live fast for the
Hello YouTube, I'm back again with another video. This is going to be another important generic one that I want to bring up, and definitely want to give out a shout out to Goku Kunpachi for bringing this to my attention, for giving me an idea what to talk about, and I feel like not only would this be more satisfying, but this is something you guys really need to hear me out on, and whether you want to believe me or not, it is true what I'm talking about. Like, people in this day and age, especially if they're seeing that you're making progress and you're motivated and you're confident in yourself and they're seeing what you're capable of and you manage to like make accomplishments, there are people out there that want to see you fail. We can exclude like family members. There might be some family members. We can possibly exclude close friends, but there might be some close friends who pretend to be your friend. But I hate to say it, especially from my experience, what I've dealt with, whether it may be on the internet in real life, and they don't have to tell you directly. People have been waiting on my downfall. And how I know you guys, like, it's crazy because especially, it doesn't just involve the internet, it can also involve the workplace, it can involve sports, and they're trying to drag you down as much as possible so they can be able to like make themselves look better because they want the center of attention. That's what people want nowadays. Same goes for the people on YouTube who false flag people's videos because they're jealous of what they manage to like accomplish and what they gain through social media as well as like other means. But again, people won't tell you directly, I assure you, that they want to see you fail. They can tell you, they might tell you, but a lot of people don't want to admit a lot of times people are jealous. But at the same time, it's like, even if I'm competing with somebody, again, it is normal to have some sort of competition, but it shouldn't be to the point where you're trying to ruin somebody's life. And it's so annoying because, and I mentioned this before, how on social media you have these people who have no charisma, who basically have this weird persona. They don't put as much effort, and the people who are trying, no matter, say nowadays, like, what's the point of hard work when people aren't giving you the recognition you deserve? But the people who, again, sometimes you gotta work smart. That's usually how it is. You gotta work smart. If you try to, especially if you work less and you're smart with how you like handle situations, yes, that's the best way to be able to be recognized in order for people to acknowledge you. But when people start to realize the results, they're going to do it behind the scenes to make sure that you go through under pressure, and these are the lists. So they're going to put as much pressure on you as they can. So they'll probably try to manipulate you, persuade you. They'll put you down by calling you names, swearing, and they're not going to give you a legit reason why they're trying to put you down or they'll boss you around, especially if you're at a workplace. You have like people who play favorites. This has to deal with what I'm talking about. You always have people that play favorites because they like someone, because of either something that they offered them or something they have in common. Like, it could be like the personality or how they possibly treat them, even if they have no sort of like development in their like occupation. If they're not like able to keep up with people that they aren't close to, yes, it could lead to favoritism. So it's like, don't even try to impress people. That personally, that's not my intention. That's not my intent, you guys. I just try to be me. I just try to do whatever I can to be able to be able to fulfill my living conditions. That's all I'm there. I'm not trying to make friends with anybody. Whenever I do my hobbies, it's because I feel good about it. It makes me feel happy, and it actually adds value, which clearly it has throughout all the years, throughout the months, and just going through all of it and just processing everything. And I'm able to like keep track of all the things that I managed to achieve. And to me, I see myself as a success, you guys. But don't worry, we're going to continue talking about this. Again, it's not really easy topic to talk about, because it's the fact that people won't admit to you like why they're putting you down, or why they're angry at you, or they boss you, or why they might be an asshole towards you, why they act like a piece of shit. That's them literally, and they're not going to tell you. That's them literally trying to drag you down. And I can assure you, I've had that experience in the workplace. I've had the experience whether it might be like a hobby that I'm playing. It can even involve trading cards, even sports. The internet obviously is a prime example, because when they start to realize you're starting to grow as a person, and they realize that you're making a name for yourself, and how much skill you've required, and how much you've grown in that occupation, and that it's leading you to a lot of like accommodations. You're able to build a community like I'm doing right now, which I managed to do. Definitely, it is a massive feat to like acquire. Not one that is easy, you guys. So I've seen this, trust me, especially if you look at, again, I've mentioned this before, where on YouTube you'll have people that have like a smaller like following, especially their subscribers. Again, the people that have went in on me in my videos, who've had issues or what I post, are usually people who have way less subscribers. I don't know anybody that has had far more subscribers than I did that actually attacked me over what I said. They would, especially I would trust the bigger influencer, the person that has the most subscribers, to call me out what it, and maybe I could actually be able to like look past what I said and maybe try to explain myself. But for me, there's really no need to explain myself. I'm just gonna call out the person who was basically making threats towards my channel, trying to get me canceled, basically trying to pursue me. So I'll do whatever I can to defend my reputation, because the people that are doing, I truly believe, I honestly, the way it looks, these people have nothing to offer compared to what I have. And like, especially if you compare these people who've been insulting me, who've been trying to berate me and all that, they literally have no value on the internet. These are just people who want to be recognized. So the only way I can be able to notice something, maybe if I can be able to check my flaws, is if I know someone who's a bigger influencer who's letting me know what I might be doing wrong, and that's where I'm going to be able to address the situation. But rather than just talk about the internet, mainly in the workplace too, that the workplace is no exception either. It's not any different, because it's crazy. It's like, no matter how hard you try, people say it's claiming that you gotta do your best to make people like you, but sometimes your best isn't enough. There's always gonna be someone that's gonna overtake you and who's gonna be treated better than you. Why? Because how the workplace works is more about the least amount of money they can spend on you. If they realize you're working really hard, they're going to put as much pressure as they can to get you to fold to the point where you have to quit. And it's no surprise, you guys. It's so that they don't have to put as much money into you, so they so they try to stress you out. They put a lot of peer pressure. They insult you. They tell you to do your work on time, finish it as quickly as possible, and that you only get your break when needed. But of course, it is mandatory and is required. And the more I think about it, you guys, when they try that, sure, they may not care about like wanting to keep me at this job. They can always find somebody, but at the same time, the way it seems is as if they don't care about my safety. Even if you do not like someone, at least think about their safety, because you can be held liable if that person were to faint, if that person were to have a seizure or whatever, or they were to collapse, because they're simply doing what you told them, and you can be held responsible. So it's crazy how these workplaces, they're willing to put as much pressure on you to the point that it could literally put your life at risk, where you might end up forgetting it, and then you might not even trust the workplace anymore. And at the same time, that's the only way you can live. But then you're in a state where it's like you gotta work no matter how risky the job is, how much your life is at stake, and whether they don't care about your condition. They trust me when I say that with how some of these workplaces treat these people, it seems as if they don't care about the condition of these people and what might be making them feel vulnerable, what is literally putting them through a lot of stress, and how much it actually is taking a toll on their energy, taking a toll on them, on their strength, to the point that there's no way they can keep up, because they expect them to do the impossible. But yeah, the workplace has really put a toll on people. But sometimes it's like you gotta keep looking for a workplace. And again, not every place is like that. You gotta find a job where eventually they aren't gonna abuse their power, where these people aren't gonna be in a complete power trip, or they aren't too corrupt. Because at the same time, it's not only that. Of course, you gotta include the inflation, but it's incidents like that, it's issues like that as a reason why not many people get hired and why a lot of people leave the workplace. Because the fact that the staff does not care about the safety of other people. They don't care about their health. Because again, how can you have somebody work if they're exhausted, or work to the point where their body is essentially pretty much stiff, or to the point that they can't be able to like work the same pace. So you gotta look into these factors, you guys, because if you're expecting someone to work fast paced, you gotta at least give them as much energy as they can, motivate them to work as much as they can. Probably spare them a break and not try to argue with them constantly, because that's not gonna help. But also on top of that, inflation is also the reason why many of these workplaces don't want to really hire people, or why they want to pay them less, even possibly minimum wage. But I've been going too long in this video. I'm almost about to finish, you guys. But to be real, the reason why people do want to see you fail, because and it may not just simply to see you fail. I think it's because they don't want you to do better than them. They want to have some sort of purpose in life, to the point where you may be able to surpass them, to the point where they feel like their life is meaningless, and they want their life to always have meaning. So to the point that if you even though you're simply trying to focus on yourself, you're being independent, you're trying to work your way up to help yourself survive, or just be yourself, those people are not gonna really approve of that, or even care or just want to understand, because it's like, it's weird as how it's like they try to put you down, while every time you try to keep yourself in a good mood, when you ignore them, there are people out there that see that as like they see you as being inferior to them and you being a nuisance. So the best thing is, if those people want to see you fail, they just don't even give them the attention. But of course, at the same time, it's going to make them angry, but then they're going to realize that they're the nuisance, and that there's really no point trying to compete with you. So that's a great way to pretty much motivate yourself, you guys. But again, it's very hard to explain how and why people want to see you fail. Again, a lot of factors behind it, just some things that are untold. Of course, the most important part, they won't tell you directly, but at the same time, a lot of it has to do, people want to satisfy their egos to the point that only they get compliments, and that you are fully ignored, when if anything, it's like compliments are only deserved for people who worked to get to where they are right now. It's not who they like and who they appreciate based on appeal or attitude. It's all what you able to make up for the things you've done in the past and what you accomplished. Your success is also the important part. What you accomplished is also what you succeeded in, and that you can be able to reach a further goal, to one that you haven't acquired, because there's still goals out there that not everybody, nobody in this world has managed to do, has managed to acquire. So there's a long way to go, you guys. But overall, I feel like I said enough, you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to check for more upcoming content later in the future. Be sure to check your notifications, comment, like, subscribe. Thank you.